Sorry for not doing a video for such a long time, but I've been so busy trying to pass my driving lessons, my driving test. It drives me mad. I wasn't concentrating enough, so I had to keep away about everything and not talking to a lot of people and concentrate on my driving so I would have passed quickly. And I had my test done on a 15, that was the day before yesterday, it was on a Tuesday. I had it done at 2:32 in the afternoon, and I passed. Yay! First time passed. Woohoo! There's a certificate that they give you as soon as you pass, and then they give me this paper as well, which shows, the minors that I had, which is the mistakes. I had 4 minors, which is not too bad for first time. I passed first time, which I'm so glad. Look how beautiful. And right, I'm going through the minors I had in case if you need some kind of help as well with yours. Before you do the test, to worry about and all that, then I can give you some options. Right, so one of the minors was on reverse parking. It was a reverse bay parking that I had. Sorry, I got my son next to me. Right, the reverse bay parking, I had a minor. That was because we finished driving. As soon as we got back to the test center, he asked me to do a reverse in bay parking, which was reversed into a bay. That was fine because there was no one in there, so I had the whole space to do it. But as soon as I was reversing, I could see in the mirror, I was going to reverse into that bay, and then I turned out to be in another one. I was ever so sad about it. I was mad, and then obviously I could see that I was not in the bay. I was in the top of the other line, and then I asked the examiner, can I just drive forward and then reversed again a little bit, and he said, right, I will give you one more chance. And then he gave me that chance. That was enough for me to pass, because if it wasn't for him giving me a chance, I would have failed the whole test with 3 minors. So what I did, I drove a little bit forward, and then I reversed again, and then I was inside the base, even though that it wasn't sure. So you got out, the examiner got out the car, and then he started walking around to make sure I was inside the bay. Thank God I was. And then he told me to drive around, so to tell, because it was the end of the test. And then the second one was moving off, the control, moving off. Right, let me explain. I think I remember. He asked me to stop on the left side of the road. They normally do that during the test, ask us to stop a couple of times. I think he only asked me 2 or 3 times, I'm not sure now. So he asked me to stop on the left side of the road, which I did. I stopped. But then it was cars coming, and I could see into the mirror, because he asked me, move on when you're ready. And I was like, no, he said, move off when you're ready. And I was like, all right. So I was checking my blind spot, and I couldn't spot the car. So I was waiting for the car to pass. As soon as the car passed, I think it was a van, I look again on my right spot, blind spot, which you should always do that, because if you don't do that, then they fail for it. They will put a serious mark, and if you have a serious mark, that means it's a fail, completely fail. So I looked behind me like that, and then there was no one coming. But because that car just passed, I was a bit like trying to go quicker before someone come behind me. As soon as I went, I think I went too much on the right, and then I put too much on the left, and then I was like not controlling myself properly. So he put a minor for that one. And then the other one, it was a runner's planning. That one I can explain, but that wasn't fair. I'm going to tell you why it wasn't fair. Even my driving instructor, she was with me. She came to the test with me. She sat behind me. So she listened to the whole talk and the minors that he was talking to me, what I had wrong and all that. And 2 of the minors, she didn't agree. And one of them is this one. We were on the traffic lights, and it was red, and then it went to green. So I started driving because we were turning right. But then as soon as I started driving to turn right, the car starts to stop. So they all stop in line, and I got stuck in the middle, which is I'm allowed to till it's safe to go on the right. So I got stuck because I couldn't see what was on the other side. I only saw when I start turning. So I got stuck there, which is fair enough, a couple of seconds, and then they started driving, which was alright. And as soon as I was turning, the lights on the front of me starting to get green as well. So all the cars were coming as well, and they had to slow down because I was there turning to the right. So he put a minor because of that. But the thing is, it was nothing I could do. And my driving instructor, she said to him, what could she do? Because if she sat behind the traffic, then she was holding the traffic. Even though there was a green light, she was holding traffic back. So she done the right thing. I mean, she at least she drove forward and then waited a couple seconds and then turn right. But hey, he put minor because the other cars starting to come to me and they have to wait and all that, whatever. And then the other minor that she didn't agree, that was the last minor, she didn't agree with it, was, let me try, yeah, that speed, that one, the speed, right, we finished. Sorry, I just had a phone call and my phone went all down, so the video had stopped. I'm sorry about that. Right, let me show you again. So I had another minor for the speed, as I was saying before. So what happened was we finished driving. The test finished really. So he asked me to turn right to the test center, which I was doing it. But because I knew I was going to turn right, I checked my right mirror, put indicator to the right, and then obviously on the road it says slow. So as soon as I passed the slow bit, I was starting to slow down, and then I cut to the right. So we put minor for that. And the reason that he thinks was right is because I slowed down a bit too early. Dude, we're supposed to slow down as soon as we see the slow sign and you're about to cut, you slow down and then cut. That's what I did. What is wrong with that? He just say that I went too early. So what do you want me to slow down just before the cut and be like, no, really? I don't know. So he put minor for that, I slowed down too early. So that was the speed minor really. So I had these 4 minors. Well, I'm not worried about the minors, to be honest. It was a great test. Before we start the test, we had the eye test, which you have to read a card number about 20 meters. He asked me to read one card, but I think he didn't understand my English or something. Obviously, my English is not 100% great, but I did try my best, and obviously he didn't understood. And then he asked me to do another car, which I did, and then he understood what I said. And then he said, all right, let's go and drive. And I went inside the car, and then obviously he kept talking. And then by the time we start driving, I only had like 25 minutes left, really. So the driving was about 28 minutes. They always say it's 38 to 40 minutes, but to be honest with you, by the time you start driving, it's already past 10 to 15 minutes because they have to talk to you before you start driving as well, plus the eye test and all that. And the questions as well, they ask you questions before you drive. My question before I drive was, what was it? Oh, how do you check your indicators are working? So you switch on the car and then you put the triangle hazard lights on, you click on it, and then you walk off the car and then you check if the indicators are working, which was fine, I passed that one. And while I was driving, he asked me one more question, and that was how to put the window down, which I did, it was fine. I didn't even look at the window, I just was driving and indicator down, put the window down and then put it up again. That was it. So it was a really good driving for the first time, for the first test, and I passed first time. That was brilliant. I know a couple of people, they didn't pass the 4th time, they still haven't passed. But obviously everyone is different. English is not my first language, so I found it quite hard sometimes, the way they talk, and I don't understand, do they mean that way? And then obviously when he says to me turn right, and I couldn't actually understand, I was like, you mean turn right, right? And he's like, yeah, yes, turn right, please. So I always ask the second time if I didn't understand, which it was good. So yeah, I passed in Grantham with 4 minors. I'm ever so happy. I can't wait to get a car and start driving around, take my kids everywhere. I've got 3 kids and they're all so excited for me to beep, beep. Can't wait. So if you have any questions, just pop your answer down below and I will reply as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye.